Yo, welcome in everybody, and today we are doing SnD 101, the fundamental aspects of search and destroy in CoD Vanguard. We're gonna be going through it all and basically breaking down the game mode and the most important aspect and some of the things in Vanguard that are a little bit different or unique, or some of the things that you can take advantage of in Vanguard specifically versus even other Call of Duty games. So it's going to be a blast. I am very much looking forward to this. So throw it on, enjoy it, and without further ado, let's get right into this one. Let's go. So first of all, you might be asking, what is search and destroy? And well, great news, you're in the right place. Obviously, you gotta attack a bomb site, so either blow up a bomb site or kill the other team. Or if you're on defense, you gotta defend your bomb sites or kill the other team. There are some fundamental differences in win rates between offense and defense. On offense, you actually have a lesser chance to win because of the bombs themselves. So like last year in the COD League, 46% of the time on offense, the team won. 54% of the time on defense, they won. So there are fundamental differences just in offense and defense in your odds of winning. And so you have to kind of approach SnD from two different perspectives, of the offense and the defense. And then there's individual play and there's team play, and overall the fundamentals of what allows a team to win in search and destroy in any given round or any given game. So let's talk about what the ideal round even looks like before we get into the nitty gritty of it. So ideally you find the first blood. The first blood is the first kill of the round. So if your team has the first kill of the round, well, good news, now you're in a 4v3. And so you have the man advantage. And we'll talk a lot about how you maximize man advantages, because realistically, search and destroy is all a game of numbers and playing the odds. So on defense, you're trying to get that first blood and then stay alive and play in a 4v3 man advantage till the end of the round to win. On offense, you're trying to get that first blood and then use that man advantage to push up to a bomb site, get it down, which forces the defense to have to come over here and defuse it, giving you a massive advantage plus the man advantage. And on the offensive side, once that bomb goes down, you're feeling pretty good about the round. So with that said, there are a handful of pillars of skills or team things or things that need to happen around the map in search and destroy for a team to be successful. And generally, when you're hearing like broad conversation about SnD, the thing you hear the most is teamwork. You hear the word teamwork all the time. Teamwork's the key to search and destroy. Teamwork's the key to winning. We need to work on our teamwork. Like all of these different ways that teamwork comes into the conversation in search and destroy. Teamwork obviously is crucial, but it's so overused and it's really hard to act upon. Like, yo, we need to have better teamwork. What does that even mean? Like, we need to play off of each other better. All right, now we're getting to a little bit better spot, but you have to break down all of this and what it actually means. So there's different pillars of teamwork that are crucial for search and destroy. The first one, of course, is communication. Comms obviously have a huge effect on how teams play. So if you're playing like pubs, or if you're playing like hopefully, ranked play here this year in Vanguard, or game battles or UMGs or CMGs or 1v1 me or whatever it is, all of these different places that you can play competitively, the comms are going to be crucial either way, and understanding what your teammates are trying to do. Communicating that is crucial to success. So I did actually just put out a breakdown of Optic and some of the communication that they do in SnD rounds and how they play search and destroy. So I highly recommend checking that out because they do a lot of really, really good things. Here's just one example of Illy and his communication real quick.
They're planning to work on this retake together. I can smoke.
I'm pinching. I
smoked across.
I could win this.
Take your time now.
I'm trying to. Yo, oh my god!
Follow me a butter now. Whoever this is.
Yeah.
Baby, I have a pistol. I don't see anything in.
I'm popping.
In behind the door.
No, he's weak, bro.
I'm this.
He could be back trains. Hold up.
I'm fake hopping it then.
I don't see him back trains. Yo, he's back here. Dead.
Good shit, baby.
Oh my gosh.
So there you go. You're hearing that in game, a lot of that communication from Illy and what he's doing. But obviously before the round, not only that, you're calling out strats or your setups or where you're going to be and where you're expecting your teammates to be. And you're calling out what the other team likes to do. So the things that they like to do, their tendencies and their things that they're doing, to what you can expect during the round. And then hopefully throughout the middle of the round, you're going through the mid-round plans and how you're rotating bomb sites and playing off of each other. The small talk like, yo, I've got your left, I've got your right, I'm watching over you, I'm watching your push, and I can help you here. Like these types of conversations, the best teams do it at the most elite levels, and we gotta do it to our best ability, even at a casual level, to maximize our skill. So one thing about COD is that so many of these skills are kind of like intertwined and they affect each other. So like, again, your communication can really affect how well or how good you are at baiting and trading and playing off of each other for kills. And the best pros do this at an insane level in search and destroy, where they're always there to pick up the kill if their teammate fails to do so, which is called trading. And baiting can partly be like playing for information. That's a crucial part of search and destroy, which we'll talk about in a little bit more in a second. But overall, you can see examples here of teams flying into a bomb site together. One player's kind of watching an angle while the other player's running in front, and they're kind of exchanging that pacing, and they're watching over each other, hitting things together. And that all stems from good communication and doing that effectively as well. And you develop those skills through communication when you're playing casually, and then in the amateur scene and then into the pro scene, it looks like that. So like I said, playing for information is crucial, and this will lead into the next thing, which is like team setups and strategies overall. So playing for information is absolutely crucial in SnD. And that can look like shoulder peeking. So just throwing a shoulder out behind cover, or using a stun to check an area. And then you can tell your team or tell yourself that like, yo, I didn't hit anybody back here, so there's nobody back here. Or you can nade check somewhere and you can tell like, okay, there's nobody top room because I naded that, you know? These types of conversations and using everything in your power to get information and narrow down where the enemy team could be is elite search and destroy. And I don't think anybody's better at it than Atlanta FaZe. FaZe is so good at the little bit of information that they have, quickly narrowing it down and kind of constricting the map to where their enemy could be. Like, okay, they can only be in this area right here, you know? And like that type of mental processing and conversation between teammates is crucial and definitely a pillar of search and destroy when working through the middle of a round. Alrighty, so now let's talk team setups and how teams actually strategize heading into every single round. So again, with some of these stats, last year in the CDL, the slow A push was by far the most effective offensive push. And again, these stats are also courtesy of Carson CLS on Twitter. Follow him, he's the GOAT. He's a great follow and has so many good stats for competitive COD. So last year, that was the best strat you could do, was a slow A push on average every map. While the worst one was a slow B push last year, which makes sense when you think about some of the maps and some of the B bombs that were on some of these maps. As for defense, the neutral setup was actually the best at a 54.49%. Makes sense. It's the safest play because you can play for information. So you split 2 players on each bomb site, or 1 inside mid, 1 on side B, and then 2 kind of playing towards A or something along those lines, where you're playing for a lot of information here and not trying to get too aggressive. And then you can utilize the information to play numbers by rotating the bomb sites and playing your 4v3s or 4v2s or whatever it is. While the worst play on defense was the slow A push, which was a 50.89% chance to win the round. So there's like a, you know, roughly 3.5–4% difference between best and worst plays on average. And again, these things are in the pro league where you're playing against balanced, fair competition 24/7. So when you're playing like a little bit more unbalanced competition, like in league play or in pubs or, you know, even in GBs, then you're going to have more extreme results. But overall, it kind of shows that, you know, the importance of team setups and the strategies heading into certain rounds and why it matters. But overall, the definition of a good setup means that you have your team in position where you can trade each other's deaths or kills easily. And so what that looks like is a situation like this right here, where this is on Bocage or Bocage right now here on Vanguard. Let's say you have a defensive setup here. It doesn't really matter where the other guys are, but there's 2 of you guys who are set up towards A here. You have one guy sitting inside of the A building in case they do a fast mid rush or like a fast bomb A hit right through mid here. You have one playing towards tanks here, and his job is to get information and make sure that he can tell anyone if they're pushing up towards field or something along those lines. So when he spots somebody here, he's immediately like, yo, I need help, which means that number 2 now can fly out the back door and bang, he's here to trade out this kill. And then ideally, if there's a good offensive setup, that means that this player would be here to trade out this guy. So then you have this guy dying, you have this guy dying, and then number 4 comes in, he trades out the kill. Now bang, offensively, you have a nice 3v2 towards the bomb site here, and then now you can plant the A bomb, and then you can set up on the A bomb. So there's kind of all of these different number games that you're playing when working on these setups, and that's a situation where 2 teams are effectively trading kills, which is generally not the case. Generally, if you're trading kills, that means the opponents aren't doing as good of a job of playing kills, and that probably means that that first player got a little bit over aggressive and gets caught or something along those lines. So a bad setup would actually be something along these lines where you can justify it. Like, yo, we're watching all lines of sight. Like, we have all the bombs covered. But the problem is that these aren't tradable lines of sight. And what that means here is, like, look at a situation like this. These number 1s here facing off at the bottom of the screen. Okay, yes, he has he has an angle that he's watching that gives him information. But the problem is, in this situation, he has to play his life. If he doesn't, and he loses this gunfight, it could be devastating for the round. Well, this guy can't trade the kill. This guy can't trade the kill. And now suddenly you're down a man. This guy right here, same situation. If he loses this gunfight where like two guys are pushing mid and they're trying to trade him out, even if he gets one, he's traded out. That's best case scenario. If he doesn't get one, then he's dead. And now they have an advantage towards the middle of the map here and you're in a tough spot. Similar situation over here. If number 4 is trying to peek out towards field here to get like a line of sight or to get some information, like he better not die. Because if he does, now suddenly you're opening up this side of the map for red to push through and get towards A bomb and get A control. And that can be really tough to break. So and again, it's another situation where there was no ability for any teammate to trade this gunfight out. So there's these types of conversations that have to come through when thinking about good setups versus bad setups and what that could look like. And again, there's just a lot of different ways that you could play that way smarter than what the original setup was. Or like if this number 4 player just waits in this corner here for a call out from the number 3 player. So like if he just waits in the corner here and now number 3 can call out that number 2 is crossing, now number 4 can try to chow out and get number 2 and find that kill. Or it gives him information like wait, or now he can expect somebody to be here and then he can find the kill even easier and then get away with his life and run back towards spawn. You could talk about this all day, but that team play and making sure you have setups that are based around trading kills is crucial to a team's success. And then you have to figure out ways to capitalize on your first blood. But also good setups don't leave your flank exposed. And if they do leave your flank exposed, you are aware of it. So you can say like, yo, our flank's gonna be exposed. So once we push up to this area of the map, make sure we have somebody wrap back to watch our flank. Like that type of conversation is crucial. Then of course, team play, switching up your pacing of your pushes is crucial. So sometimes you do slow pushes where you're playing for a pick. Sometimes you hit it fast where you're 3 hitting a bomb site and anticipating that. And defensively, you're ideally looking for setups where the opponents can't get to a bomb site without you knowing about it, or they can't rotate to a certain bomb without you knowing that they're headed that way. So you have setups that are playing for that information ahead of time. So now, once you find that first blood, it's all about playing the numbers. And this is a situation like, let's just, again, same situation here. Like, let's say number 2 pushes up, he dies. Number 4 kills him, all right? The initial instinct right after you get that kill might be to like try to chow out or like play a corner right here, something along those lines. But your best play is to ensure that you get back to your team so that you still have that 4v3 advantage, because an untraded first blood is the most important play in SnD. If you can get that first blood without immediately dying yourself, now suddenly you have a 4v3 and you can win that round for sure. Having number 3 come out here and like jump out the door and help number 4 get to a more advantageous position. So now number 4 can wrap back and actually play with number 3 inside of A, or number 3 wraps out to play with number 4 outside of A, out in the field, something along those lines, where now they're playing together and you're playing another tradable situation with in a 4v3, enabling that you can continue winning these rounds and playing the numbers throughout the middle of the round. So you have to continue to work on that with you and your team, or be aware of that when you're playing to help your teammates get away with their lives after they find a first blood along those lines. Bomb planning and setting up after getting a bomb down is one of the most interesting things in Search and Destroy, and how you play the bomb down, all right? So let's go to a situation here. Again, on bow cage, let's assume that you knew that the last player was over towards A somewhere. You ran down to B to plant the bomb because you knew you had space to plant it, all right? So you get the bomb down. Now you know that he's somewhere over here. You don't know where he is. Let's say the last time you saw him, he was in fields. He was by tanks, all right? He was over here somewhere. You get the bomb down, you're like, how do you wanna set up? So you plant for the back side here, all right? So you plant right here where number 1 is, and now you're like, let's set up. So the basic setup in somebody's mind might be like have someone sit on bomb, or like one person watches the back spawn and one person kind of watches the front spawn. And now you're kind of like, all right, well, we have a lot of the map covered here, you know? But again, this is a situation where you're taking untradable gunfights. Where like, let's say number 2 starts shoulder peeking out here and he chows you. Bang, you're dead now. It's a 1v1 and you're in a tough spot. So think about how could you maximize your traded lines of sight here and make it almost impossible for someone to clutch a 2v1 in a situation like this, or a 1v2. Your only goal here is to defend the bomb. So all you need to really do is play a line of sight where you can't get two-pieced easily and where you can get away with your life if you need to. And so maybe the next level of like a setup might be something like this, where you're at least a little bit closer together. So if he chows you nearby, you might be able to trade the kills. But again, longer lines of sight, if you're having a gunfight like that, or if you're having a gunfight back here, it's still untradeable. So what you can actually do is maximize the untradeable angles by playing something along like these lines where you aren't checking bomb very often. You're playing a weird angle, and if he ends up chowing you from below, you know, you can trade the kill. If he chows you from the backside, he has to chow out like this, which then allows this player to jump out and trade the kills. Or if he's playing towards bomb, now you know he's on bomb, this player can wrap back around, kill him off bomb, this guy can chow him on bomb. And like, there's never going to be like a perfect, all encompassing perfect setup where you're gonna be able to watch everything most of the time. But again, it's all about upping your odds to win. This setup, the toughest 1v1 would be something along these lines where, you know, player number one has to take like a gunfight from the top street push or something along those lines. But still, that's a better odds than having two different 1v1 scenarios. Now you only have maybe one 1v1 scenario where number four might still have a chance to contest that gunfight or make a play towards that gunfight. So it's all about maximizing those lines of sight and playing your numbers in those 3v4s and 4v3s and 2v3s or things along those lines where you have numbers. So you might be asking, how do you get first bloods? Well, there's a lot of different ways to do it. And again, I need to do full on videos about all of these things to get a better grasp. So make sure you subscribe. We break down pro gameplays around here a lot and how pros do find first bloods and do these things like using nades, stuns, smokes to create different lines of sight to open up different parts of the map so you can push through them, create some chaos, use your numbers, again, hit areas where you're gonna have a tradable advantage and try to play those types of advantageous number situations to find a first blood, then play your life to play numbers throughout the rest of the round. So there's so many other things to SnD, but we're going over the basics in this video. But like, again, using those pre-nades, so many other things like understanding the timings, like knowing rush routes. Like, okay, I can get to this spot before they can get to this spot. I have an advantageous position if I rush here with my rush class to get to this spot on the map first, to find the weird creddy corner or get that first blood. That can be a good way to get first bloods as well. How to break bombs using smoke grenades, stuns, nades to clear areas of the map. And then again, get up close to the bomb quickly. Again, when a bomb goes down, SnD 101, you need to play towards that bomb pretty quickly. You only have, you know, 30, 40 seconds roughly, usually after a bomb gets down, to really get towards it and have a chance to find a kill to get the defuse. So you really have to play the clock, and the bomb becomes your enemy as well when a bomb goes down and you're on defense. And again, in Vanguard specifically, there's a handful of small weird things you can do. And right now we're seeing pro players like use gammon bombs to clear out different breakable areas of the map off the spawn. Like you throw a gammon bomb at a breakable area of the map. Now you have a line of sight advantage on the attacking team or something along those lines. Like on Castle, we see that a lot. So that's something you can definitely use. The smoke grenades in individual plays, you can use those to like escape bomb sites. So you get a bomb down, and oftentimes the bomb carriers will be the ones who have a smoke grenade. So they plant the bomb, then they throw their smoke, they get out of there, and then they can watch the bomb after they get to a good spot. Audio cues in this game obviously are huge. Right now there's the weird glitches and things like that with the bomb plants and those things. So those will get fixed within the next week or two. Overall, using audio cues to your advantage, like knowing like, okay, they just used a stun grenade. Like that means they threw it from somewhere, and then you can try to like narrow down where they threw that thing from. And that can give you information. The nade, same thing. All of these different areas where you can find some information and play the sound, anything like that to paint a picture about where the enemy is crucial. Those are all massive parts of playing SnD effectively, not to mention how you can use snipers in this game to create potential first bloods and picks as well. And we'll talk more about that in future videos as well too. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of SnD 101. There's way too much information to go over all in one video. So we'll have a lot more tips videos coming out on the channel here over the coming few weeks and months. So make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. I appreciate you guys. We do a lot of professional COD talk around here, obviously with ranking COD pros and breaking down gameplays. Also shout out TAC Maps, the program I was showing you some of these strats on. That's from College COD League, and they do a great job with that. So shout out TAC Maps. You can download that, follow the College COD League. They're awesome and they do great work. But as always, guys, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, share the video if you guys really enjoyed it. But as always, guys, I'm your boy SalvationsElite, and we will see you next time. I'm out.